Hello, welcome back to my channel. So, hi, it's Jackie. You probably know me as kind of someone who's into archery and does some archery videos. That's probably what you mostly know me for. But other stuff that I enjoy is movies, television, and reading books, and also writing books. I've actually written two, and I have actually self-published them on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. And I thought, with it being wintertime and it being cold and probably not going to be able to do a whole lot of archery stuff, and that's mostly for safety reasons. We don't want to get hypothermia and all that. So I thought I'd kind of at least try to do a few things in regards to my interests, just so that there's some kind of content that I'm able to put out there throughout this time, however long it takes. But at the same time, I also do kind of want to diversify a little bit and not just focus on one thing. But I thought I'd start out talking about kind of the basis for, getting started writing for anyone who's aspiring to be an author or writer or anything like that. So from my perspective, I kind of started out deciding what my story, what genre my story would be in. And I kind of was like, I kind of wanted it to be horror. I kind of wanted it to have, maybe some adventure elements, some kind of, fantasy, maybe science fiction-y. My first book is pretty much, it's a supernatural kind of thing. It has vampires and werewolves and stuff. My second novel is much more science fiction-y, but also a little more post-apocalyptic horror type thriller. And again, I'll link my stories in the description or pin a comment, or I usually do both. Yeah. But anyway, so that's generally where I think we could start, is kind of just decide on a genre, sort of, and you can change your mind at any point, really. And next, you kind of want to, before you even start typing anything, try to get some kind of inspiration. And if it's, like I said, if it's something that's like extremely fictional and fantastical and kind of supernatural or something, it's usually, at least where I got my inspiration from, was other books and other television series and movies and such, where I kind of get, at least a little inspiration, a little bit of an idea of kind of what I want to do, kind of make my own original story. You can also go outside and experience everyday life and your interactions with people. And that can kind of help with some inspiration to kind of get started. So when you kind of have a general idea of, what genre you want your story to be in, again, you can change it at any point. And when you get some kind of inspiration, whether that's from watching TV shows, movies, maybe even reading some books as well. Like I said, that's pretty much how I got a lot of my inspiration whenever I started writing. And so when you kind of have all that, you can basically, start writing. You might start out with like the title of your book, and it doesn't really have to be anything like super concrete. You can always, change it. Yeah. So, you can kind of have the title. You can kind of start out with just a general introduction. You can set up, maybe, generally speaking, how many chapters you have, and you can kind of pretty much start writing in like, I usually start with like a prologue or an introduction, as some people may have it. And then basically, after I get kind of that basis down, I kind of just start on the first chapter and kind of go from there. And, throughout this process, there's going to be times where, you might, lack a bit of inspiration. And so you might take a little bit of a break. You can also, like, if you've gotten like quite a few pages, like whenever I get at least like 20-ish pages or so, I usually go back to the beginning to see, if there's any corrections that need to be made, if there's a better way I can word this so that it runs a little more smoothly. That's kind of, how I did. I mean, my first book, granted, there's a lot of things I probably could have done way better. I think I made some improvements to my writing style in my second novel. But yeah, so basically, and during your editing process, you can definitely also still kind of think, okay, so how do I want to continue the story a little bit? Kind of how do I want to go from here? What do I want to add on or something like that? And that's basically, kind of how I started writing. But again, it's totally subjective, but this is some of my advice for anyone who starts writing, and then there's other more legal stuff, which I won't get too much into, like in terms of copyright and all of that, and there's certain things I can't really say. It's a contractual thing with Kindle Direct Publishing. But anyway, that's generally what I have as advice for, starting out. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Be sure to, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications, and consider following me on my other social medias, and also consider supporting me on my Patreon. I will, of course, link all those in the description. And so anyway, thank y'all for watching. Bis später.